Hi, Amanda. My name is Derica Muldoon, and I'll be your nurse today.
Hi, Derica.
So I see that you came in today because you were wondering about your risk for the BRCA1 gene and breast cancer. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you're worried about those risks?
Yeah, so my grandmother was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 45, and about 8 years later, she died from it. And my mother was recently diagnosed with it as well at the age of 48. She's been battling it for 2 years and went through genetic testing and found out that she's a carrier of the BRCA1 gene.
Okay.
Her doctor recommended that all of her daughters get genetic testing, but I don't really know anything about it, so that's why I made this appointment.
All right. I'm really sorry to hear that about your mother. So do you know anything about the BRCA gene or what it means to your health?
No, not really, I don't.
All right, so let's start there. So specific inherited mutations of the BRCA1 and 2 gene increase risk for female breast cancer and ovarian cancer. This genetic mutation accounts for about 20 to 25% of hereditary breast cancer and 5 to 10% of all breast cancers. This gene can be inherited from either the mother or the father, and each child of a parent who is a carrier of the gene, like your mother, has a 50% chance of also being a carrier of that gene.
Okay, so if I also have this mutation, does that mean that I'll definitely get breast cancer as well?
No, it doesn't mean that you'll definitely get breast cancer, but if you do inherit this mutation, then you will have a 55 to 56% chance of developing breast cancer by the time that you're 70 years old.
Okay. Well, how do I go about being tested? Are there any risks to being tested?
So the genetic testing for the BRCA gene is just a simple blood test and has no medical risk associated with it. The only slight risk would be the same as any other regular blood tests, such as lightheadedness, bleeding, bruising around the site. Have you ever had a problem with getting your blood drawn?
No.
Okay.
I guess I'll get the test done today then if I can.
Okay. So I can give you some printout materials on the BRCA gene from the Susan G. Komen Foundation, which is a foundation focused on research around breast cancer. You can also share this information with your sisters or other family members as well.
Okay, thank you so much. When I get my test results back, what will they mean?
So the test results can come back in 3 different results. They can be positive, negative, or ambiguous. A positive test result would mean that you have, in fact, inherited this mutation causing that increase of breast cancer that I talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
That increased risk would be at a 55 to 56% chance by the time that you reach the age of 70. This result also means that any of your own children can also have a 50% chance of inheriting this gene from you. A negative test result, because your mother is a carrier, this result will mean for you that you are not a carrier of the mutation and you cannot pass that gene on to your children. The only complicated result would be an ambiguous result. This means that the genetic test finds a change in the BRCA1 gene that has not previously been associated with cancer. This specific gene change is not known whether it will or will not affect your chances to developing cancer.
What will I do if I get an ambiguous result?
So if you do get that result, then I'll refer you to genetic counseling, which will help you understand the result more. They will also work with you to determine any other risk factors you have for this type of cancer and what you can do to minimize those risks.
Okay, so what if I have a positive result? I'm only 26 and want to have children of my own one day. What would I do to determine their risk?
If you do have a positive test result, then your children will have a 50% chance of also inheriting this mutation. They will be able to get genetic testing done as well. I can show you a chart on the inheritance pattern to explain it a little better. So as you can see here, if the mother is an infected carrier of the gene, then her children will have a 50% chance of also inheriting that risk. That risk does not mean for every child. So if you had 2 children, that 1 out of the 2 will have that gene, but each child will have the 50%. And you can affect daughters and sons with that mutation.
Okay, thank you. It kind of seems like this testing will just add on to my anxiety with trying to have children. Do you really think it's a good idea for me to get this test?
Well, I can't make that decision for you, but I can tell you that by getting the test done, you will know if your children have this chance versus if you didn't get the test done, you'd be going in blind to your children's inheritance for this gene. This kind of information can help you with your decision making in your future family planning and what your child's health could possibly look like. Do you have a strong support system at home?
Yes, my family and I are very close. Also, my husband has been great at supporting my family as we're all dealing with my mother's treatment.
Okay, that's really great. I can also give you a link to a few local support groups and others who are also BRCA carriers. You would be able to reach out to them or even our facility anytime you had any other questions or you were looking for more ways to find support.
Okay, thank you. That'd be awesome. So, what would the next step be if I was a carrier? What do I do to avoid getting breast cancer?
We recommend for you to do self breast exams pretty much anytime you think of it. You could do that in the shower or when you're at home, and clinical breast exams with your gynecologist every 6 months. We also recommend to get mammograms every year. There's no risk for any of these screenings for cancer, and they're all just proactive.
Okay, that's all really good to know. Thank you.
So, do you have any other questions for me today?
No, I don't think so. Thank you for all this information. Let's start the test.
Okay, awesome. So, I'll give you that printout information and we'll get going.
Definitely.